अभिनंदन करते हैं, स्वागत करते हैं भारत के माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति महोदय श्री जगदीप धनखड़ जी का। बहुत बहुत स्वागत है माननीय। हम मंच पर स्वागत करते हैं रिस्पेक्टेड भारत के नियंत्रक एवं महालेखा परीक्षक श्री गिरीश चंद्र मुर्मू जी का, भारत की रिस्पेक्टेड उप नियंत्रक एवं महालेखा परीक्षक मिस परवीन मेहता जी का, यहाँ उपस्थित सभी महानुभावों का, मेहमानों का हम हृदय से स्वागत करते हैं, अभिनंदन करते हैं। द सुप्रीम ऑडिट इंस्टीट्यूशन साई ऑफ इंडिया भारत की सबसे पुरानी इंस्टीट्यूशंस में से है। 16 नवंबर को ऑडिट दिवस के रूप में मनाकर हम इसके इतिहास को मानो सेलिब्रेट करते हैं, खुद को मानो रीडेडिकेट करते हैं, गुड गवर्नेंस के प्रति अपने कमिटमेंट को दोहराते हैं, पब्लिक ऑडिट और अकाउंट्स में एक्सीलेंस के मानदंडों तक पहुंचने के हम सब अपने प्रण को निभाते हैं। हमें गर्व है कि पिछले साल ऑडिट दिवस पर माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की गरिमामयी उपस्थिति कार्यक्रम की शोभा बढ़ा रही थी और इस ऑडिट दिवस पर आज माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति महोदय श्री जगदीप धनखड़ जी की गरिमामयी मौजूदगी इस कार्यक्रम का गौरव बढ़ा रही है। किसी भी कार्यक्रम के प्रारंभ में हमारे यहाँ दीप प्रज्वलन की परंपरा रही है। कहते हैं इससे ऊपर वाले का आशीर्वाद और अपनों की शुभकामनाएं साथ जुड़ जाती हैं, माहौल ईश्वरीय हो जाता है, रूहानी हो जाता है। हमारा विनम्र अनुरोध है माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति महोदय आपसे कि कृपया मणिदीप को प्रज्वलित करके कार्यक्रम का शुभारंभ करें और मंचासीन सभी गणमान्यों से भी अनुरोध है कि कृपया वे भी इस शुभ कार्य में सम्मिलित हों। आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव में, इस अमृत काल में हम सबके हृदय में यही भावनाएं बसी हुई हैं कि इतनी सी बात हवाओं को बताए रखना, रोशनी होगी चराहों को जलाए रखना, लहू देकर जिसकी हिफाजत की है हमने, ऐसे तिरंगे को सीने से लगाए रखना। आशीर्वाद आसमान से बरसते हैं और कामनाएं धरती से प्रस्फुटित होती हैं। मंगल दीप का जलाना एक शुभ शगुन होता है। मधुर मधुर मेरे दीपक जल, युग युग प्रतिदिन प्रतिक्षण प्रतिपल, दे प्रकाश का सिंधु अपरिमित पुलक पुलक मेरे दीपक जल, मधुर मधुर मेरे दीपक जल। महाकवयित्री महादेवी वर्मा की ये कविता, ये लाइन, ये पंक्तियां हम सबको प्रेरणा देती हैं। आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव की जो प्रेरणा माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने हम सबके हृदय में जगाई है, वो अब मशाल बन के हम सबके हृदय में जलती है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय। कहते हैं मेघ और मेहमान बड़े भाग से पधारते हैं। हमारे यहाँ आगत का स्वागत सौभाग्य समझा जाता है। हमारा निवेदन है रिस्पेक्टेड भारत के नियंत्रक एवं महालेखा परीक्षक श्री गिरीश चंद्र मुर्मू जी से कि कृपया माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति जी का स्वागत करें, उन्हें पौधा भेंट करके और उन्हें मेमेंटो भेंट करके। और ये स्मृति चिन्ह आपसे निवेदन है, कृपया माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति महोदय को ये स्मृति चिन्ह, ये मेमेंटो भेंट करें। अतिथि सत्कार के संस्कार हम सब में रचे बसे हैं। हमारे आतिथ्य को स्वीकारा माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति महोदय ने, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और अब हम आग्रह करते हैं रिस्पेक्टेड भारत के नियंत्रक एवं महालेखा परीक्षक श्री गिरीश चंद्र मुर्मू जी से कि कृपया स्वागत संबोधन के लिए पधारें।
Namaskar, good morning. Honorable Vice President of India, Sri Jagdeep Dhankar ji, distinguished guests, officers and staff of the Indian Audit and Accounts Organization. On the occasion of Audit Divas, it is an immense honor and privilege to have with us the Honorable Vice President of India. Sir, for all of us here, your presence at this event is not only inspiring but also an acknowledgement of the key role that the institution of the Comptroller and Auditor General of India plays in our nation. Our profound gratitude to you, sir, for joining us today. Audit Divas commemorates the day the first Auditor General took charge of this office in 1860. Over time, the role of the CAG has evolved to assume wider responsibilities to strengthening democracy and governance of our country. This day is a reminder to every member of this institution to follow our motto of Lok Hitat Satyanistha, the path of truth for the larger public good. This is a day to reaffirm our commitment to good practices, personal integrity, and high professional standards. It also affords a chance to each of us, officers and staff of this institution, to engage with our stakeholders and communicate to the citizens of this country our dedicated service to them as a public audit authority. This year, in our effort to expand our reach to the youth of this country, we organized a national online essay writing competition for the university students. The bilingual competition in Hindi and English elicited encouraging responses. More than 1,000 entries have been received from students pursuing their studies in premier institutes and universities. The theme of this year's essay focused on the CAG's role in 2047, the year India completes 100 years of independence, and what it can do address global challenges like climate change. 7 students won the awards for their originality, creativity, and style of writing. A 3-member evaluation committee had selected the final list of the awardees. The winning essays reflected a deep sense of understanding of the constitutional visions of the CAG, and I am happy to note that the young awardees are present at our gathering today to receive the awards from the Honorable Vice President of India. So, beginning today, several events are being organized to mark Audit Divas across our offices in the country. The celebrations will continue for a week, and I am happy to inform you that we shall later also announce the awards for the innovations in the field of public auditing and accounting, and for the noteworthy improvements in our individual offices. These awards acknowledge the creative collaboration among officers and staff, whose contributions have made an incremental yet valuable difference to our constant attempt to change and improve how we work. One of the core responsibilities of the CIG is to assist the Parliament and state legislature in ensuring executive accountability and transparency. We have been able to perform our task with a sense of purpose and duty despite the challenges of new priorities of governance and changing dynamics of work culture in terms of emerging financial accounting system and new technologies. In recent years, the volume of work activities has also increased manifold. We need to therefore constantly innovate to stay relevant. To strengthen executive accountability, we have introduced various innovative audit products for focused engagement, such as departmental appreciation notes, management letters, and study reports. These products will be useful for the executive to keep track of our audit findings. We believe that this initiative, along with the CAG's audit reports, will bring tangible benefits in the day-to-day working of the executive. An impactful audit and a responsive executive can improve efficiency to a large extent, which will ultimately impact the lives of ordinary citizens in the spirit of minimum government and maximum governance. It is heartening to note that the government has taken cognizance of our efforts and paid renewed attention to our reports. It is in this context that we have put together a volume of the Compendium on Catalyst in Pursuit of Good Governance. The idea is to promote good practices in all our audit and accounts department office. These efforts we believe will yield rich dividends in terms of improving the quality of professional skills and audit products. This year, we have also taken steps to improve the internal functioning of our institutions. We have introduced a new system of technical inspection for implementation in all our audit offices. We have also framed the peer review guideline for our audit offices in alignment with the best international practices. Another pioneering efforts of the CAG has been the development of guidance for framework for utilizing technology tools such as remote sensing, geographic information system, and global positioning system for audit planning, implementation, and evidence gathering. This will have far-reaching implications in audit of land and dependent physical resources like forest, water bodies, land use, agriculture, irrigation, and mining, among others. In another groundbreaking move, the Government Accounting Standard Advisory Board, which is the intergovernmental body under CAG, recently released the first ever publication of asset accounts of natural resources. This data was prepared in line with the UN system of environmental and economic accounts and covers all the 28 states and 1 union territory. We are proud that this specialized handbook is one of the few examples of natural resources accounting anywhere in the world. The first such account was formally released in the presence of Honorable Minister of Coal and Mines, Sri Prahlad Joshi ji, in October this year. And we are hopeful that it will enable the government to take decision on optimal utilization of natural resources while being mindful of issues of sustainability. Sir, I am happy to mention that we have been able to take advantage of emerging technological trends for improving auditing and accounting processes. We are currently implementing an integrated IT system called the OIOS system, that is one IAD, one system. It is an end-to-end enterprise-wide IT system for audit process, automation, and knowledge management. Once ready, it will become the primary source of record of all our audit activities and would eventually replace all paper records. The vision is to create one single paperless audit system. I am also confident that we will become a fully data-driven organization in the near future. Honorable Vice President, sir, even as we charter new territories, it is our firm belief that the ultimate test of governance is the impact our work would create on the lives of ordinary citizens. In the area of our work on local governance, therefore, we have introduced a new district-centric audit to improve service delivery at the grassroots. We have also substantially increased our local audit coverage. We have also and are now coordinating with the state governments and local fund auditors to build capacity and improve audit practices. In the international arena, over the years, the CAG of India has emerged as front runner in strengthening the global public accountability framework. As external auditor for several international organizations, we have provided constructive recommendation to promote economic efficiency and effectiveness in the areas of governance. SAI India takes pride for its work in strengthening the standards of transparency and accountability in several organizations, such as the World Health Organization, Food and Agriculture Organization, Inter-Parliamentary Union, Organization for Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, and International Atomic Energy Agency. This Audit Divas also gives us an opportunity to pause for a moment and reflect on what Mahatma Gandhi once said. Whenever you are in doubt or when the self becomes too much with you, recall the face of the poorest and the weakest and ask yourself if what you do is going to be of any use to him. Will it restore him to control over his own life and destiny? Then you will find your doubts melting away. Hence, in this 75th year of independence, as we celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, I take this opportunity in the presence of Honorable Vice President of India to rededicate ourselves to the service of the nation. This will be our humble contribution to the nation building, in which public audits will serve as dependable and aid for good governance, inclusive growth, and sustainable development for the benefit of citizens of this country. Thank you. Vande Mataram. Jai Hind.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद रिस्पेक्टेड सीएजी महोदय। हमें गर्व है कि हमने इस वर्ष भी गतिविधियों और उपलब्धियों, इनोवेशंस और एक्सीलेंस के नए कीर्तिमान स्थापित किए। पब्लिक ऑडिटिंग, अकाउंटिंग, एंटाइटलमेंट तथा सपोर्ट फंक्शंस के क्षेत्र में एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी मील के पत्थर स्थापित किए। यही नहीं, इस वर्ष साई इंडिया ने कॉमन मैन यहाँ तक कि यूथ तक पहुंचकर उनमें सीएजी की भूमिका के बारे में जागरूकता की अलख जलाई। ऑनलाइन ऐसे राइटिंग कंपटीशन के जरिए ये प्रतियोगिता हिंदी और अंग्रेजी दोनों में ही आयोजित की गई थी और विषय थे द सीएजी helping India achieve Panchamrit, 5 nectar elements to deal with climate change, the CAG realizing the Constitution's vision and living Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, CAG at 2047. Imagine you are the CAG of India in year 2047. What will be your strategy for the institution? अब हम माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति महोदय से विनम्र विनती करते हैं कि कृपया नेशनल ऑनलाइन ऐसे राइटिंग कंपटीशन 2022 के विनर्स को अपने कर कमलों द्वारा पुरस्कृत करें। माननीय कृपया मंच के सामने आने की कृपा करें। सबसे पहले मैं आपको ये बता दूं कि हिंदी में निबंध लेखन में पुरस्कार दिए जा रहे हैं और इसमें प्रथम पुरस्कार जीता है श्री सारंग मुकेश भाई पटेल ने, जो कि गुजरात आयुर्वेद यूनिवर्सिटी से हैं। हिंदी में प्रथम पुरस्कार जीता है सारंग ने। बहुत बहुत बधाई। और द्वितीय स्थान के हकदार रही यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कोटा की मिस साक्षी जैन। तीसरे स्थान पर रही गवर्नमेंट डीबी गर्ल्स पीजी ऑटोनमस कॉलेज रायपुर छत्तीसगढ़ की मिस माधुरी चंद्रकार। और अब इंग्लिश में ऐसे राइटिंग कंपटीशन के विनर्स की उद्घोषणा की बारी है। द फर्स्ट प्राइज गोज टू मिस्टर हर्ष हिदायतुल्ला, नेशनल लॉ यूनिवर्सिटी रायपुर छत्तीसगढ़। The second prize winner is Mr. Ankesh from National Law University, Odisha. Again, the second prize has been backed by Mr. Kethavat Kumar Naik, Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati. The third prize winner is Mr. Brahmabhat Yogi Raj Hitesh Kumar from Aditya Silver Oak Institute of Technology, Ahmedabad. और अब 7th की छोटी सी स्टूडेंट जो कि सिर्फ 13 साल की है, मिस षणमुख प्रिया, विजयवाड़ा, आंध्र प्रदेश को पार्टिसिपेशन सर्टिफिकेट दिया जा रहा है। सेंट जोस इंग्लिश मीडियम हाई स्कूल में आप पढ़ती हैं। यूनिवर्सिटी लेवल का ये कंपटीशन था, इसके बावजूद आपने जबरदस्त एंथुजियाज्म और उत्साह दिखाया। आपके जज्बे की सराहना करते हुए आपको ये विशेष पुरस्कार दिया जा रहा है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति जी, और सभी को बहुत बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं। सभी विनर्स को हृदय से शुभकामनाएं। हमारे यहाँ परंपरा है, या इसे आदत कहें या संस्कार, जब भी कोई शुभ कार्य किया जाता है तो अपने सम्माननीय, आदरणीय और पूजनीय का आशीर्वाद लेना हम नहीं भूलते हैं। और ये हमारा सौभाग्य है कि आज का ये कार्यक्रम परम आदरणीय उपराष्ट्रपति जी के ओज से प्रकाशवान है। हमारी विनम्र विनती है माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति महोदय जी आपसे कि कृपया हम सबका मार्गदर्शन करें, हम सबको संबोधित करें, हमें राह दिखाएं। माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति महोदय श्री जगदीप धनखड़ जी।
Namaskar. Good morning to all of you. And thank you for a very, very warm welcome. CAG Girish Chandra Murmu ji, we were benefited by his enlightened address, traversing innovation, challenges, accomplishments and opportunities. I know for a fact he is a man of action and believes in business. Deputy CAG Srimati Parveen Mehta ji, distinguished dignitaries present here, officers of the Indian Audit and Accounts Department, everyone associated with CAG establishment, ladies and gentlemen. Holding the position as I do, I am indeed delighted to be part of Audit Divas celebration today. Congratulations on CAG Foundation Day, and also for very thoughtfully organizing the 30th Accountants General Conference to mark the occasion. Critical importance of the institution of the CAG was firmly and significantly indicated by Dr. Ambedkar in the Constituent Assembly. I quote his reflection. Quote, I am of the opinion that this dignitary or officer is probably the most important officer in the Constitution of India. He is the one man who is going to see that the expenses voted by Parliament are not exceeded or varied from what has been laid down by Parliament unquote. It says it all. It is indeed satisfying to note that CAG as an institution over the years has exemplified spinal strength. This elevated status is consequence of seminal leadership the institution has been benefiting from. The credibility earned by the institution is due to the painstaking efforts of successive CAGs that brought this institution what it is today. Impactful and wholesome CAG functioning has generated evolution of transparent and accountable ecosystem. That is what we are witnessing at the moment. Such a scenario has affirmatively contributed to our growth trajectory that is evoking global acclaim. By virtue of constitutional prescription, under Article 151 of the Constitution, CAG reports are required to be laid before each House of Parliament as also before legislature of the states. It is expected such reports receive due attention and consideration of parliamentarians and legislators. This is of critical consequence as only such kind of attention will lead to probity, efficiency, and transparency in governance, improving our overall environment. Painstaking efforts of CAG would bear fruit and results with timely legislature and executive actions in tandem and togetherness. Reports are critical, inputs are vital, but the agencies and authorities enjoined to deal with them have to be in a matching situation. I am sure attention will be bestowed on this critical aspect. I am happy to tell you all, and thanks to the efforts of one and all, in a recent milestone accomplishment, we have emerged as the fifth largest global economy, overtaking few months back our colonial rulers. And I have no doubt, and all indications are in this direction. Before the end of the decade, we will be the third largest economy on a global horizon. The country has made rapid strides in structural and institutional reforms. Bharat is on the rise as never before. Our rise is unstoppable. Bharat and India carry a now different tag. Resultantly, on a global horizon, we are hot favorite destination of opportunity and investment. When we look around the global economic scenario, India, on account of its policies, is a shining example. The world is looking at us as never before, and the world is looking at us so that we catalyze the big change that will be brought about. Transparent accountability in public service delivery is quintessential to good governance. I think it can never be overemphasized. It is something which has to take place. And only by taking recourse to this, the benefit can reach to those who are in the last row. And that is preamble of our Indian Constitution. This can be impactfully brought about and enhanced by CAG acting as vigilant and tough watchdog. It will have to flex its muscles to ensure there are no indiscretions or violations. I greatly appreciate a good theme has been chosen for today's Accountant General's Conference. Sai India contributing to India onward and ahead. It is futuristic. It is contemporaneous. It is directional. And I'm sure deliberations would focus on opportunities and challenges, and the wholesome motivation will be to fast track our continual upward growth trajectory. I have seen, with my limited experience of governance, in this position and in my earlier hat, accountability and transparency are twins. And these twins alone help blossom and sustain our democratic progress. In the absence of these two, results have no meaning whatsoever. Lack of these and what we see, corruption, inefficiency, CAG in such a situation has a massive role to root out this menace. After having listened to his enlightened address, I can credit him. He is on way to it. But we have yet to go a long way. We must build and continually enhance. Building is one part of it. There has to be consistent, constant improvement thereof. Continually enhance credible system to tackle challenges before us. Like all institutions, individuals engaging in self-audit and calibration, though very difficult, is more often than not very rewarding. It is insightful. It is enlightening. Timely detection of fiscal misdemeanors and effective consequential correction mechanism are peremptory CAG obligations. I have come across in my earlier position. There's the detection, if it is not timely, if the correction is not taken, then the reports are just a paper on the shelf. To get the best out of it, to get the nectar out of your reports, we have to ensure there is timely action. Audit is a powerful, and I call it inescapable, tool of good governance. In the absence of audit, we cannot conceive of good governance. Absence of audit or inefficient audit is the surest way to bring about degeneration. And I'm sure the present CAG and his team are keeping it in sharp focus and on radar. This underlines imperatives of CAG focus. I'll give few illustrations. Learned CAG has focused on more. Instances of utility certificates involving massive public funds not being imparted for long by governmental entities. This needs exemplary corrective force. By discerning errors and highlighting wastefulness and extravagance in public spending, the CAG not only ensures that the government delivers its promise with economic efficiency, but such an approach where we take on wastefulness, extravagance, the results are very wholesome. And the results are the government delivers the promise with economic efficiency, and the outcome is inefficiency is curbed, corruption is rooted out. Functional, and I have no doubt on this, this is not an ordinary institution. This is an institution and a mechanism created by the Constitution to ensure the nation thrives and survives. functional, vibrant, and impactful CSG mechanism is the safest assurance that the intended benefits actually reach the citizens, the ultimate beneficiaries. I am happy to note, and all of you share it, series of affirmative steps have been taken by the government very successfully, where an ecosystem has been generated where benefits trickle down to the last person with no interfacing of any other human agency. It's a big change that has taken place, something which we could never imagine, and the world is stunned and startled at the great progress we have achieved in that direction. It is soothing to gather that the CSG has given priority to audit many citizen-centric programs, and congratulations to the CSG for it. Being very innovative. His feet and eyes have always been on the ground. I have had the occasion to interact with him on several occasions. I could see in his body language his concern for the poorest of the poor. And therefore, it is only natural for him and the position he holds in the Constitution to focus on audit of citizen-centric programs such as direct benefit transfer, national pension system, and so on. Such a focus will make robust delivery mechanism fruitful and gainful for one and all. Now, the findings of these audit will give extremely important input, and they will help better planning, management of citizen-centric schemes. Also the rogue elements, they will get a lesson. And that is why the findings need much wider dissemination and consequential exemplary execution. I am happy to note, and of course, he brings on the table his approach and attitude like his very distinguished predecessors who have raised the benchmark continually very high. The digital revolution combined with CSG exemplary service in promoting transparency is revitalizing democracy at the grassroots. This august institution should find, and there is a reflection in his address also, ingenious and innovative ways to involve public at the grassroots level in its audit processes. I would focus on this. Participation of the people at large and the civil society is very vital. I know it must be regulated, it must be controlled in nuclear kind of a situation and not unregulated. But if it is regulated, it will yield rich dividends, and we will get a system where people will get their due intended for them without any dilution or decimation. This proactive role will help in efficient monitoring of schemes. I can compliment the CSG and the team to be fully equipped to manage the emerging challenges by continually engaging in upgradation of professional skills and practices and to stay ahead of the learning curve. I commend CSG initiatives to become an IT-led institution and using data analytics for auditing. As a matter of fact, it is difficult for any organization to be functional, efficient, and impactful in the absence of this mechanism. But the sharper it is, more penetrating it is, more result-oriented it will ever be. I am happy there is movement significantly in that direction. As an Indian, we are proud wherever we go these days. The very look that you are an Indian, a different kind of recognition takes place. I've seen it myself during my recent visit to Cambodia. But I am so happy and delighted to note, and I know it for a fact, that reputation of CSG at a global level as a very robust auditing organization following global best practices is well recognized. And it is on account of this recognition that our CSG is playing a critical role as external auditor of various UN organizations. Its international audit portfolio, I can say, is very daunting. It has WHO, FAO, IPU, OPCW, which is very critical. Inter-Parliamentary Union 1, Organization for Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. I'm making reference because these are the bodies where there has to be discerning, incisive auditing so that things are always on track from a global perspective. And also International Atomic Energy Agency. Now to be involved with these bodies is just not a mechanical job. There are people and giants all around to review your stance. It is gratifying to note CSG has done commendably well, and congratulations, sir, to you and your team. Very thoughtful of you to involve our impressionable minds. I had the great fortune of interacting with them. I could see in their eyes the small figure on the check was not reflected in their attitude. They thought their gain was great. The gain is indeed great. My congratulations to each of them. And some of them are drawn from the stream to which I have great attachment. They have come from Faculty of Law. It was satisfying to note they came from best of law schools the country is seeing for the present. Their exceptional essays have set the trend for all of us to be engaged in that direction by taking our pen and paper. I am confident and I have no doubt, going by the things that are taking shape and unfolded by the CSG in his address, that this august institution that has been created by his predecessors of huge acumen and experience, the institution would continue to find ways to involve public at the grassroots level in its impact assessment process. I pause here for a moment. Unless we know the impact, it will be difficult for us to size up our response. And therefore, precedents will not help us because we are living in dynamic society and economics where things are shifting every moment, and therefore there will have to be innovative approach. And by engaging into that particular activity, CSG is fully equipped and required to be crusader against corruption and fiscal inefficiency. Nothing can strengthen the structure of this country than a powerful CSG that is antidotal to both corruption and inefficiency. With enhanced, continually enhanced, I am sure about it, proactive stance of the CSG, there is bound to be improved efficiency and monitoring and reach of government schemes. I can tell you, there was a time when the benefit did not trickle down to the people. But what we have seen is something which we could never imagine. We could never imagine it will happen. I have seen it with my own eyes. Imagine 33 years ago when I was elected to Parliament for the first time, the power that I wielded in my hand as a parliamentarian was 50 gas connections. And what have we seen now? 180 million gas connections being given free to needy households. Can we ever imagine it? Imagine the kind of banking inclusivity we have secured at a massive scale of 400 million bank accounts. The world is stunned when I indicated to some of the people I interacted at Cambodia that from 1st April 2020, the larger democracy has been feeding free more than 800 million people, and the process continues. These, my dear friends, are not ordinary achievements of governance. The world is startled at it, and therefore time has come when we as Indians need to take pride in all that we have achieved. Our achievements are next to none. Our rise is unstoppable. We are on way to becoming Vishwaguru. And thanks to finally strong institutions like CAG, that I can see the emergence of this scenario in the near future, much before what others might expect. I am sure the Supreme Audit Authority will continue to emerge stronger and vibrant in days ahead. All this could not have taken place unless the entire team, everyone working in the CAG, in Delhi and outside, is very best. The results are because there is a collective cumulative effort, and therefore, my congratulations to everyone who has contributed to this great achievement. And my expectation from them that you will beat your benchmark every time there is assessment, because your functioning matters to the man who is not in your radar, but who is your ultimate beneficiary. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
कोटि कोटि धन्यवाद माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति जी। और अब हमारा आग्रह है रिस्पेक्टेड डिप्टी CAG मिस परवीन मेहता जी आपसे कि कृपया आभार प्रकट करें।
Honorable Vice President of India, Comptroller and Auditor General of India, distinguished invitees, officers and staff of the CAG institution, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to propose the vote of thanks on the occasion of the second Audit Divas, an occasion when we celebrate our institution, reaffirm our core values, recognize excellence, nurture a sense of belonging, encourage the pursuit of quality, enhance our public outreach, showcase our value addition. At the outset, I would like to express our immense gratitude to the Vice President of India for gracing this occasion and for sharing your thoughts and enlightened views on the way forward for the CAG institution. I assure you, sir, that we will be guided by your advice in our future endeavors. I wholeheartedly thank the CAG for being the motivational force behind Audit Divas, urging the organization to celebrate our role and reach out to stakeholders, and for his constant guidance, mentorship, and keen interest. I sincerely thank the distinguished dignitaries and invitees for gracing this function by their presence. My thanks are also due to the members of the senior management for ably supporting the various activities leading up to Audit Divas. I would like to thank each and every member of this august institution working across the length and breadth of the country for their tireless efforts in producing high-quality output and affording us the reason to celebrate. It is this concerted, determined effort, even in the face of adversity, that enables us to stand tall and filled with pride. There's no better occasion than this to express sincere gratitude for the resolute march towards excellence. In terms of the significant increase in approved audit reports from 120 to 182 in the preceding 12-month interval marked by Audit Divas, covering the gamut of financial compliance and performance audits across all three tiers of governance. our stature in the international arena, where we continue to steer knowledge sharing among the community of supreme audit institutions, audit UN agencies, and lead in various multilateral fora, as well as strengthen bilateral ties. Our commitment to sustainable development is evidenced by the first-time preparation of the Compendium of Asset Accounts on Mineral and Energy Resources in States for the year 2020-21. Ours is a people-intensive organization. Efforts are ongoing to create a nurturing, caring environment that strives to facilitate professional opportunity and growth and balance operational requirements with individual career prospects. Direct freewheeling communication cutting across hierarchy is encouraged through town halls. Standing by each other in the face of tragedy is enabled through a centralized platform for compassionate appointments. I also thank members of the press and media for their presence and coverage of today's event, recognizing the key role this institution plays in nurturing transparency and accountability. I would also like to place on record my appreciation and gratitude to the civil and electrical wings of the Central Public Works Department, the Assistant Director Horticulture, the Chief Security Officer, and his staff for organizing the logistics, the floral arrangements, and security. This audit divas would not have been possible without the tremendous effort put in by various committees and the headquarters wing. I thank each and every one of you for creating the joyous ambience we are witnessing this morning. It is with an immense sense of pride and abiding gratitude that I thank everyone for enhancing this institution and enabling it to grow from strength to strength. Thank you.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका। और अब आप सभी से अनुरोध है कि कृपया राष्ट्रगान को सम्मान देने के लिए अपने स्थान पर खड़े हो जाएं।